Hey, Ginny and Tim here
Hello.
from DS Tech, and we're going to talk about gray market, the dangers of gray market. Tim's about to tell us what gray market is because it's a little bit gray,
Yeah.
right? So, but before we do that, make sure you go to dstech.net and sign up for our newsletter under news, where you get all kinds of tips and productivity tips, tech tips, whatever. It's whatever I can find that I find helpful for you as an employer and employee of whatever business you're working for. So, and security@dstech.net is the email that you use to get your free assessment.
Yes.
So what is gray market?
So there's, everyone's heard like the black market, that you think of like, drugs of horrible things, and there's the white market. The gray market's kind of in between, where it's legitimate stuff sold, but it's not direct from the manufacturer. So it's kind of like a little gray area where it's not illegal, but you're not going to have some of the same features as buying direct. A common thing, I guess.
And there's some risk.
And there's definitely some risks involved with that.
So
Biggest thing is it's usually not covered by the manufacturer's warranty is the biggest outright liar. So if you want to, buy a brand new switch, and you're like, for a business grade switch, you're spending, say $3,000-$4,000, and you're like, oh, that's, a lot of money. I can buy this one on Amazon, and they're only wanting $1,500 for it. Why is it so much cheaper? A lot of times it doesn't come with, for example, the licensing that you would normally have to go with some of the switches from the manufacturers, or it could just be old hardware that's not even covered under warranty anymore. So if you had an issue, it's going to be harder to go back and correct that.
So I know, as if I'm playing devil's advocate here,
Yep.
What if you know that the switch is supposed to have a lifetime warranty?
A lot of times the manufacturers will only offer that if you buy directly through their vendor channel, because they can't. You're going through third party now. A lot of times those warranties aren't, if you're getting it from someone else, because you don't know who used it, how it was used, all the kind of the history of that device.
I can add a little bit of experience here too.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So what happens?
I know you deal with that a lot more than I do. You actually
because I'm doing the quotes, and people ask me all the time, well, I can get this off of eBay or Amazon or whatever for like, half the price of what you're quoting me. And what happens is when they put the serial numbers in, something happens to the hardware. They put the serial number in to get support, and Cisco or HP says, that serial number doesn't exist in our system. Sorry.
Yep. So it's not going to be, once it leaves their system, how a lot of those warranties, it's directly when you're dealing with the manufacturer.
They want you to go through the proper channels, which is through distribution, through certified partners like DS Tech.
Yep.
And so that's my 2 cents.
Yep.
Yeah, keep going.
And now, not only just with that, a couple of the other dangers, I guess you could say, with ordering online through eBay, Amazon, third-party sellers, things like that, is some of the hardware may almost even be counterfeit. I've seen where it looks like it's a legitimate Cisco or whatever branded shell, but the internal guts are actually counterfeit, cheap Chinese knockoff, whatever you want to call it, and it might not be performing the same. Take that to a step further, you can actually have some that have malicious code already embedded on them, and spyware and malware. So that way you put this on your network, you think it's a device and maybe it functions properly, but there's actually code that's actually exfiltrating all of your data the entire time. So there is danger because you don't know who touched it.
You don't know what you're getting, right?
Yes. And especially when you're dealing with business, that's a common thing for hackers to do, where they'll get all these cheap knockoffs, try to sell them for cheap, hoping that a business is just going to try to save some money, install it on their network, and now they have basically a backdoor into that business. So, so just there's
a rule of thumb for that, isn't there?
Yes.
If it's too good to be true.
There's like too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
And also, you might not know, another thing kind of tying into that is you might not know how the hardware was used prior. For example, I know this more, and for like the graphics cards, like with computer gaming, a lot of times they're used for crypto mining. So if you are trying to get a graphics card and you're like, oh, I can get one on Amazon and it's half the price of brand new, usually that's because someone used that card for a year or two, running it at 100%, RPM, for a better lack of a term, and now it's worn out when you get it. It'd be like, oh, hey, I just have this brand new car. It's only got 60,000 miles on it. It's a great deal. But you didn't know that car was being used as a racetrack the entire time. So it's been really hard and gone through the ringer. So it just because, so just kind of keep that in mind with your hardware.
Different kind of miles then.
Yeah, different kind of miles than
just
driving on the highway. So keep that in mind. You don't know the history of it. And by going direct to vendor, you're going to get the best support. And the biggest thing is the warranty. And this, as a business, you can't be taking that risk of taking this hardware, putting on your network, and now all of a sudden you're getting all these. You got to go back. You have an issue now. You're going to buy a brand new one anyway. And you know, worst
In
case,
the long run, it'll save you money.
yes, it always will save you money just getting something that's brand new that will last you through the proper life cycle and has the built-in warranty, especially if it has the built-in lifetime from the manufacturer. You always want to go direct and deal with them directly or through a proper third-party authorized.
And you know,
dealer.
to add to that a little bit, I was just on a call with our Cisco rep with one of our customers.
Mhm.
They're so nice. They help me talk to my customers,
Yes.
which is very cool. But anyway, he was telling us that sometimes you'll buy old hardware, and if it gets end of life and
Mhm.
end of support, you don't get the malware updates. You don't get any of the licensing updates. You don't get. Matter of
It's
fact,
end of
sometimes
support, end of support.
Yeah.
That's it
sometimes it
literally
won't run anymore.
Yep.
So
Might even just turn off too.
piggybacking off of that a little bit,
Mhm.
the importance of keeping your hardware up to date too.
Yes.
So keep going.
Yep.
Sorry.
But no, that's pretty much about it. You know, kind of the how to protect yourself from this is just be aware of the prices that you're looking at. You know, if something looks too good to be true, it probably is.
Do
You know,
your due diligence.
do your due diligence.
If
you
it's
are
off of
going to
eBay?
buy, yeah, if it's off of eBay, I mean, definitely if you can, the best check I would do is get the serial number and MAC address numbers from the device, if you can, from the seller, and then you can go directly to the manufacturer. Ask them, hey, I got this device I'm looking at with this. Is this in your system? Ask them if it's still got the warranty or not before you purchase it. Sometimes you may get lucky and you might find something that's actually in the system that someone's just reselling. So it can be worth it, but you do want to do your homework before you just hit that buy button.
Eric pointed out to me too. He says, also though, can you trust that serial number is actually going to be on the
real
box?
One. Yeah, exactly. Can
So
you
when
even
you get
trust?
it.
Yeah, is it the real one or is it just
So-
one they found?
I guess then you would look at the seller's reputation too. I
Right.
mean, if they're a top seller,
Right. They have
5-star.
They have 1,000
Yeah.
previous sales and they've got good rankings. Yes, if they had 4 good sales and they got 5 stars, iffy because 4 sales could be to themselves
Yeah,
to
who
boost their
knows?
numbers. So yeah, just do your due diligence when you're doing that. But yeah, and just don't try to save the money only, because you're going to pay for it later. If you're trying to save this money by just saving the hardware, getting cheap, you're always going to pay for it in the long run. Maybe for this year, this quarter, you'll be good because you save some money and it makes the books look good. But then next year when you got to replace it all or you run into an issue and you can't get that support, so your business is down for 5 days instead of 2, you're going to have some sort of issue that's going to happen and it's going to end up costing you more money in the long run is what I've typically seen. So
for sure. So find your certified reseller or partner,
Yes.
HP partner, Cisco partner, Meraki partner,
mhm.
and make sure you go through them because they have the connections, they have
Yes.
the
And
actual hardware. So
already use everything that's needed
Yep.
for it.
For sure. All right, so that's it then. Make it a great day. And again, go to our website, dstech.net, sign up for our newsletter, and email security@dstech.net if you'd like Tim or one of our other awesome smart techs to come over and do an assessment on your hardware, your network, whatever, find the holes. So, yeah, make it a great day.